Hey everyone, it's Jen and welcome to Spirited Saturdays. Today we're wrapping up our 4-week rotation on sports, on exercise and recovery and overexercise. And today I am with my nutritionist that I see, Amy Peck. She's a registered dietitian and also a personal trainer, and she works with people who have eating disorders. And so I've been seeing her for a long time, and she's really, really helped me. And I thought that today would be a really good day to have her on the video as well, so we could talk about the topic because we've talked about it a lot. And and so thank you for letting me be here and being here. Sure. We're in Amy's office.
We're in my office.
So we're just gonna kind of go over some of the things we've been talking about for the past 4 weeks. Basically talking about how to balance exercise and maintain recovery while you're enjoy exercise and maintain recovery kind of at the same time, and how to kind of achieve that balance and how to continue to engage in exercise while maintaining recovery. So do you have anything to speak to about that?
Yeah, I'll probably ramble a little bit here, but I think the most important thing about exercise is it should be movement that is organic to the body, that feels good, and that isn't about numbers. The minute you start measuring your exercise too much in the numbers realm, how many calories did you burn? Are you in the fat burning zone, which is a myth anyway? If it becomes so much about calories in, calories out, and you're somebody who struggled with an eating disorder, then you're probably not in a good place to be doing a strenuous type of exercise. It should feel good. Maybe you push yourself a little bit, but you certainly don't want to feel like you're exhausted. You don't have the strength for your workout. If you're poorly fueled, if the energy is not coming in, then you can't give the energy out. You also can't build strength if you're not eating well enough. Strength comes not just from working your muscles, but also from what you're eating and from rest. If you're not resting properly, it's really a question of balance. And anytime one part of this equation, the energy in or the energy out, gets out of balance, you got to stop and question what's happening. That's a really long, rambly way of not answering question, but
that's great.
And certainly pay attention to your body signals. If you're exhausted, if you stop menstruating, it's not normal as an athlete. I don't care what type of athlete you are. You're supposed to menstruate if you're a woman. So if you're not menstruating, something's out of whack, and that's a pretty clear sign that you probably shouldn't be exercising at that level. So,
great. Great. Well, thank you for that input. Let's see. I feel like.
Yeah, well, enjoyment. I think pleasure in movement is a big piece of it. If you're not enjoying what you're doing anymore, switch it up, or try maybe taking a rest. You may be overtraining. You may be, not ready in your recovery process. So make sure the pleasure of the movement is there, or maybe you take it down a notch and you do some yoga for a while. If it feels important to you to move your body every day, which it is important. I mean, people should move their bodies every day, but if it becomes a chore or you don't feel well, you don't have the energy for it, then try a different form, a quieter form of exercise, a more, contemplative type of yoga practice or something else.
Right. And if somebody is involved in like a competitive activity, whether it be a sport or dance or kind of anything like that can get really out of hand if you allow it to, and if you're vulnerable to driving yourself really, really hard and pushing yourself really, really hard, there's a way to still be able to do what you love, but not have that added piece of I should, I have to, I better, I must, there's all this added pressure coming in from me externally, but there's a way to kind of achieve that balance. So even if you're a dancer and you're feeling like it's going too far, it's okay. Even if you're a really advanced dancer, it's okay to take a beginner's class. It's okay. Is that kind of thing?
Idea.
Like, it's okay to, like, don't think you're letting yourself down or letting others down or not,
pushing
pushing,
yourself.
yeah.
Pushing yourself
Yeah.
is good to a point, and I think keeping in mind the idea of diminishing returns. Pushing
Mhm.
yourself to a point is good, and beyond that, you get less and less out of it and more danger. So you have to know when you've crossed that line into something that's not safe and not helpful, or you're not ready in your recovery process yet. And
Mhm.
I think there's no, as a trainer, depending on the day, I may push somebody harder or not so much at all. Somebody
Mhm.
comes in and says they don't feel particularly well, or they just haven't slept well, or they just don't look right. I'm
Mhm.
going to take it down a notch. And, if that means taking a beginner level class, like you're saying, if it was a dance, or
Mhm.
if you're just not running your fastest mile, or if you're walking and not jogging, good for you. You listen to your body. And I think listening to your body is really what we're talking about.
Right.
And interpreting body signals of tiredness, knowing that you should have gotten a period 2 weeks ago, but you
Right.
didn't. Okay, that's not okay.
Right.
Listening to your body and paying attention.
Right.
And
Exactly.
staying in balance.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. And I think I mentioned on a video either last week or 2 weeks ago, I said something about if you're playing a sport, the idea of the sport is to kind of in good nature compete with somebody else, but all in good nature, and it's about the game. It's not necessarily about the outcome, although that makes it's fun and exciting.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're playing a sport, but you're kind of like your eating disorder is driving you to do that, then it almost becomes a competition with yourself. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
become like,
Mm-hmm.
I want to beat this other person. It becomes, I want to continue to beat myself or break my own records, or
Mm-hmm.
I'm not good enough if and it doesn't even have anything to do, you kind of, now your eating disorder like forms its own rules and gives you additional
Mm-hmm.
rules that the sport imposes so many, and now you have your own, and it just doesn't make it enjoyable anymore. So so it's important, I think, to work to that place of being able to enjoy it and play it
Mm-hmm.
for the original love that you had of it, or to develop a new love for it, and that kind of thing. So.
Absolutely. No, I mean, if you have had and suffered or currently still have an eating disorder, you probably are more vulnerable to perfectionist tendencies and to overly push yourself and to be competitive with yourself. And that can make you a wonderful athlete to a point.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the whole balance game. If if you are becoming overly competitive with yourself, if you can't give yourself a day off from exercise, if you have to exercise despite not feeling well, those are indications, that your body is trying to really signal something else, and you should listen.
Would you be able to speak to actually, just real quick, but how somebody who they know logically they need to stay away from exercise for a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
but they're having a really hard time. Their
Mm-hmm.
eating disorder is telling them they have to exercise. Is there something they could do to listen to that wiser part of themselves, even though they're so driven and then they don't even care that they shouldn't be exercising, but they know they shouldn't be exercising? Like, is there something? Because I mean, I know people in this position right now, and they're having a really, really hard time. There's a huge conflict within themselves. I don't know. I mean,
Really simple things, first of all, step outside yourself and pretend you are your friend or you're your parent. And what would you say to that person who is saying they want to go and push themselves when they're not feeling well, or they really shouldn't be, or they're not strong enough yet? So try to think of yourself objectively third person. The other piece of it is just for mood enhancement. Get outside, get in the sunshine, take a walk around the block, or just very gently, just be in your body away from kind of competitive gym atmosphere or whatever is triggering you to want to push harder and harder, and try to just allow yourself to be in a happy, quiet, sunshine moment, which will enhance mood. Being outdoor activity really does make people feel better, but we're trying not to push hard in that sense. So just go take a really gentle walk like you're walking your 80-year-old grandmother, and try to be a little kinder and gentler to yourself. You don't need to push yourself every day, and in fact, you shouldn't. You really shouldn't. Your body needs to rest 1 or 2 days a week. So be a little kinder.
Right. All right. Well, thank you
Okay.
so
So
much.
welcome.
That was wonderful. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
All right.
Talk soon.
Okay. Take care, and see you guys next week. And I hope that this
Bye-bye.
rotation helped you a lot with the exercise if you struggle with that. So take care. Bye-bye.